In this video, I'm going to show you as a software founder how to book demos with $500 million plus companies for your software. Now, we've been able to do this for my own personal marketing firm, as well as our software partners software. So to give you guys some quick social proof, I'm going to be releasing a video actually next week about a live call that we just got off the phone with on Friday, where we closed a $600 million software company. They have been in the works for 4 or 5 months. It was a long process. I'll go more into depth about that later. But essentially, these are the step-by-step process that you can actually teach your SDR team. You guys can send your SDR team this video. You guys can send your marketing team this video, or you can watch this to get some knowledge. And if you're not in the software space, you'll still get some valuable insight as to how to get in front of these higher level companies when selling high level B2B. Now, the first thing we have to do is we have to understand our segments. It goes upmarket segment, technology setup, lead gen, and appointment setting. Now, we service as a marketing firm, my name is Thomason. We service software companies doing above $1 million in ARR. So you already have an established SDR team set out. You already have an in-house team that's being constructed, and you're at that point where you are ready to exponentially grow. This is the point where you would hire us to come in as an extension of your team to not only consult, but to act as an extension to actually push these efforts forward. Now, obviously, a software company doing $2 million and a software company doing $600 million are in completely different positions. For the case of the software company that we just signed doing over $600 million, actually our biggest client yet, we are doing a little bit of retargeting as well as targeting ads. They already have 3 agencies doing cold email, so it's not very sustainable that we go in there and do what other people are already doing. So that's a completely different angle, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how to tap into the upper market segment and to basically land calls and demos with your ideal company avatar. Now, the first thing that you probably already understood and that you already have gone through 1,001 different times is the go-to-market setup and the upmarket segmentation. So before you even start any cold email campaigns, your SDR team needs to be briefed. Your in-house team, your marketing team needs to be extremely clear on why you're targeting these people, how you're targeting these people, and what exactly is the outbound message that you're sending. Now, for this specific company, without giving their name away because there's NDAs and stuff like that, they're in the, I'm just going to say, transactional space. That's very broad. No one's gonna be able to tell who it is. They're in the transactional space and they are in the post-checkout space. And so it's very easy for me to go in there and sell outbound and retarget because their offer is it's very lucrative to an outbound audience. It's literally just like, hey, plug in the software at the end of your thank you page as an e-commerce store, and then you're going to get XYZ in return, and they can install it for free. So understanding why your offer works well selling outbound is going to be key to becoming extremely successful when selling to the upper market echelons, if you will. So this is kind of what we do first, is what we consult your team on. This is what we brief your team on, because most of the time your team has seen this stuff, but they don't really understand the name of the game. I've been doing this for a while now. This is my absolute jam. Persistence marketing is where it comes in. I followed up with these guys for 4 or 5 months before we even got them on the phone. And then we had 4 or 5 calls over the course of a few months before we even closed them. So these deals take a while. I'm not going to lie to you. $600 million, if a company's moving that in a year, they're definitely doing something right. So they're super careful who they surround themselves with, more or less who they pay as well. So I digress. Next thing you want to do is focus on technology setup. Now, this is extremely important that your SDR team understands how to do cold outbound or paid advertising or paid media at scale. With that being said, if your SDR team is not up in this like we are, this is the time to where you guys can outsource this. It's the time where you need to have some sort of an extension come in and sort of help you out. This is where my marketing firm would come in. We train up your SDR team, or we come in here and do this. We'll get some really good results. Then we'll actually sell you the infrastructure as a whole. So, whether you are building this up with your SDR team or not, it's extremely important that you understand why you're targeting these people and the tech setup too. Domains are purchased on ForkBun most of the time, and then setting up proper, Google Workspaces and smart lead accounts for the email sending domains, the reputations, warm-up periods, all of that is covered in the tech setup. I'm not going to go too much into it. But essentially, that's how you book qualified demos with no ad spend. Mind you, the $600 million software company that we just signed is at the position where they can reinvest a lot back into the business in terms of paid acquisition. So it's very feasible, and it makes more sense that their approach is a little bit different than a software company doing over $1 million. So with that being said, the second thing you need to understand as an SDR team to get in front of these people is that you have to be persistent, and you have to understand why you're speaking to these people. A C-suite executive who uses software Y And the upmarket segment that deals with pain point Z is completely different than a VP or a senior director who's using software Z and the enterprise space who has pain point X. These are two different company avatars. These are two different profiles within the company, and company culture is something that you guys have to understand too. So as an SDR team or as a software founder, as a company just wanting to expand and reach out to higher level B2B companies, especially in this space, it's important that you understand that you really get who you're speaking to, because guess what? If you call out the pain point that a VP is dealing with, but you're actually emailing a C-suite executive who's using a completely different software in a completely different space, they're going to send your email and mark it as spam because it's not relevant, doesn't apply to them. Therefore, it's going to drop your email deliverability rates. And then you're going to be looking at this blank wall behind me, wondering why your emails are not landing in the inbox. It's going to be a complete and utter disaster because you didn't hire CMRR. No, I'm just kidding. That's pretty much how it's going to go. But I'm trying to save you guys the pain of that by simply telling you that when you reach out to these upper market segments, it's all the more important that you make every single bullet count. That came out a lot worse than I thought it would, but you understand my point, okay? Second thing is actually messaging. So again, got relevant job title, offered with clear value prop, soft and easy CTA. We want to make sure that we get the conversation flowing. It's like, when you reach out, that's a terrible example. I'm not going to say it. It's like when you reach out to somebody in the DM, it's like you got to make sure the conversation gets going. You don't want to just go for the kill. Take that analogy with what you will. Anyways, the last thing is appointment setting. You guys have to also, biggest thing that we tell SDR teams is that when we're speaking with these software companies is that it needs to be timely. You could have this perfect lead hooked up in this perfect corporate space or this perfect company that you guys have been dreaming on for the past 4 or 5 months. And if you don't respond to them in less than 5 minutes, interest is going to go a lot lower. They're going to forget who you are after 10 minutes. And then they're already spammed by 15 other cold emails by the time you get back to them. So understanding that the biggest lever that you can pull to get in front of $500 million plus software companies deals with persistence, time, and relevance. How good is your offer selling outbound? How well is your SDR team trained? Or how well is your in-house team being trained? Who are they being trained by? How are they being trained? With what backgrounds? And what exactly are the tips and tricks that they're using to get in front of the correct amount of upmarket prospects on a daily basis? And so if you have a very good offer that sells outbound like this software company, if you have a very smart in-house team that knows what they're doing, like this software company, and if you have the budget to run paid advertising and retargeting ads, that's a perfect storm. With that being said, if you're just doing over $1 million a year in your software company, that's mainly who we help out. That segment is mainly who we help out. And it's at that point, because I understand your demographic very well, because I've been doing this for a while. I understand that you're at the point where you are just starting to kind of really tap into the upmarket segment. You're wanting to move more upmarket. That's the most logical next step. You guys have already done a lot with micro SMB demos, SMB demos, and you guys are just naturally moving upmarket, and the product speaking for itself. You're building out your in-house team, you're building out your VP team, your head of sales, whatever. You're building out these teams as you go, and you just need a growth partner to kind of help you to get to that $5 or $10 million ARR range. Now, this is a very perfect sweet spot range that we help out software companies with, because the most growth can happen the quickest here and the best ability if you have the right guidance. So focusing on the upmarket segment at this point is extremely important, and it's something that I would highly recommend. Now, this is exactly how you book demos with $500 million plus companies for your software. To recap, you want to understand who exactly you're speaking to. Have a very simple text stack. If you guys want this PDF, if you guys want this breakdown, you guys just comment PDF down below, and I'll just send it to you via Instagram or something. But anyways, you have to go through the line of every single one of these questions. Understand your tech stack with Google Workspace and Porkbun. Understand why you're targeting a specific job title and how exactly you can move your way up the corporate ladder, because most of the time, if you're reaching out to $500 million plus company, they have some sort of company culture, and you have to get your way in somehow. The last thing is appointment setting, making sure you respond back in less than 5 minutes and giving the prospect a clear reason why to jump on the call. So with that being said, those are the 4 component essentially blocks that you need to get in front of these companies. It's as easy as it sounds, but it's also as difficult as it sounds as well. If you don't follow up, if you don't have the right nurture sequences, if you don't have the right follow-up sequences, and if you're not persistent and if you don't have the confidence to show it, you'll never get in front of them. So with that being said, if you're a software company doing over $1 million in ARR and you like to tap into more of the upmarket segment, you'd like us to actually have a demo guarantee of how many upmarket prospects we can get you in front of every single month, I want you to book a 15-minute alignment call right down below. We're going to see where you're at. We're going to see how we can help. We're going to see if we can help, and we're going to see if we're a good fit. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll be going over how exactly we specifically landed this $600 million software company in the next video, or in the video after that. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.